Welcome to day 67 of the 300 Movie Challenge. Today we watched the highest grossing film of December 1999, which was Stuart Little.
Okay. I will just say for to start that this is the epitome of schmaltzy.
What does that mean?
Like, this movie.
I don't understand
Yeah,
what
I
you
don't
mean.
Like,
understand.
unabashedly, like, absurdly cute. Like,
Okay.
painfully cute, almost.
Oh,
Okay, I see. Valen's the only person who has never seen this movie before.
Yeah. I might have seen part of it, or also, part of me feels like I just, like, saw the commercial or something, but, yeah.
It was a little bit stranger than I remembered it being.
yeah, I also think it was a little bit stranger than I remember it being. Because I never realized that they never explained the whole mouse being adopted thing.
Yeah, because
Or just
that's
the fact
like
that
the
he
first,
could talk to people.
That's the
Yeah.
first like 3 minutes, and you're just expected to suspend your disbelief immediately.
Yeah.
I mean, in a sense, like, I kind of liked it, because I feel like if they tried to give some, like, backstory as to why, it just come off as, like, kind of stupid.
Yeah.
But it is kind of odd.
That too, the other mice could also talk to them.
Yeah, so it's like, how does this work? And,
But
like,
then
nobody
they can't
questions it.
understand the cat, though.
Yeah, like, and also, like, how none of the humans, like, question anything. They're just like, oh, yeah, sure. It's like,
Except for George.
I found it kind of funny how when the head mother of the orphanage came to like explain what happened to Stuart's parents, she said it so matter-of-factly, and I just found that so absurdly funny. Just that how like straight she said it's like, oh, it was a cream of cauliflower soup accident or something.
something like that.
Yeah.
And it was just like, that's so terrible, but somehow the way you say it is kind of funny.
Well, it's kind of like, it's kind of weird, because, again, it's like this movie that's, like, it's clearly aimed for, like, young kids, right?
Yeah, so maybe we're not the best reviewers.
Well, yeah, but it is kind of weird, because, like, for example, the cats, like, in, like, the ending part, they say, like, hell, like, twice, and they
Oh,
say,
yeah.
like, damn once.
True.
I'm like, that's kind of odd a choice to make, you know? I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense, because, like, who the cats
It's a
are, but
PG.
still, it's just kind of weird, like, why bother? I don't know.
They're like gangster cats, and they're like talking about like gangster things, like scratching out people and stuff.
And breaking bones.
Yeah, it's, like, kind of odd the words they use for some things, considering, again, the actions and, like, the emotions of it are, like, trying to be as adorable as possible. Overly adorable. It's like, I can't, like, dislike it, because it's
No.
like, you know what I mean? You just can't.
It has its interesting charm, I guess.
Yeah, it has its charm, and it's not like the CGI was really good for this film, though. Like for
Yes.
them to like CGI Stuart
Yeah,
and
he
everything.
looks legitimately good.
You can't tell
Yeah.
that he's like CGI. It's kind of like, oh, that's kind of cool. He looks like a little animatronic mouse, maybe running around. It's very
Yeah.
well integrated into.
I mean, I do think he looks, like, a little creepy. But, like, that's
I mean,
not...
he doesn't look creepy to me.
I don't know. It's not, like, because, like, the quality is, like, bad or he looks fake. It's, like, I just think, I don't know, something about him, like, walking around like normal just looks kind of weird to me. But, again, that's not, like, the fault of the CGI people. So,
Yeah.
the effects is fine. I just find it look kind of weird. I don't know. But,
Yeah, it's a very cutesy film, and it's not really supposed to make you angry or anything, and it's not really supposed to give you like a humongously huge lesson or anything. Really, it's just
No.
not profound per se, but
No.
No.
it's fine.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
just it's supposed to be like a movie that you're like, oh, that was really cute and everything, and you just come out of it with like a smile, but you wouldn't like outwardly seek to watch it again, kind of.
Yeah.
yeah. Like, I was kind of surprised, because I was watching this and I'm like, wow, like, this is more cutesy than Babe. Like, it's kind of ridiculous. So, but yeah, again, it's not bad. It's fine for what it is, and it's just what it is not super interesting, I guess. But
Yeah.
it works. It's not a bad movie or anything. It's just
If you have small children, they might like it. I mean,
Yeah,
like,
they'll probably really enjoy it.
they won't question things
no.
like the cats.
I did remember one thing while watching the movie though. I remember during the boat scene I was like, oh yeah, when I was a small child I wanted a boat like that.
Oh yeah, me too.
Because here's the thing where like I don't remember if I have seen the movie or not, because like the boat thing like felt like very slightly familiar, but again it might have just been like in the commercial that I saw or
It's
something.
a very famous scene, so you could have just seen like that scene in
Like
a
another
video.
thing or something, yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of like, okay, someone like help me out on this, because it's do you ever like have those memories of like something that like you have a memory of something but you have absolutely no idea what it's from?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so for me, and obviously this is not Stuart Little, but it kind of just reminded me of it, is I swear there was a movie that was maybe like a little bit older, so like maybe made in like the 80s or something. It was like kids who were like driving around like little cars as in like a race, and they were trying to like kind of like fight each other in this race. Like their
Weird.
cars kind of had like, it was like, think like a kid version of like,
Speed Racer.
yeah, it was like a kid version of that. And it's been like a memory that's like in my head, and I have no idea what it's from. It's like really bothers me sometimes.
Kid version of Speed Racer.
Yeah, I don't know. Someone like, if you've any idea what I'm talking about, please like let me know, because this is like really
No,
bothering
but-
me.
No. Don't worry, I have those. Like, I had this. This scared me so much as a child. I had this memory of this movie that I had watched as a child, and it was basically like, this, like, black thing or whatever. It came out from the floor and, like, it, like, swallowed a king or whatever. And the thing that I remember is that he had, like, a cloak or whatever. And there is this little kid that was there with his teddy bear, and then someone accused him of like conspiring to like kidnap the king or whatever, and then everyone like turned on him and surrounded him and started like pointing fingers at him and everything.
Whoa,
It was just really scary.
that's so
Jeez.
dark.
Yeah. I don't know what that is.
I know I did find out what the movie was eventually, but then I kind of forgot what
You showed
so
me
someone wants
that.
to answer me that for me too. And then there was like, I think another movie where, like, I don't remember much from this movie either, but there is like a tornado or something, and this child was like in the house or whatever, and then he got turned into like an animal or whatever. And the rest of it was animated, and he met like a bunch of other animated animals and everything. But at the ending scene
Was there an
or
owl?
something, what?
Was there an evil owl?
I don't remember if there was an
Because
evil.
that sounds like Rockadoodle.
I think that is Rockadoodle.
Is it? Wait, now I have to look this up.
There was a grandfather too, right? No,
I don't
wait. Am I
remember.
thinking of Troll 2?
It's a very different film.
It might be Rockadoodle.
That sounds like Rockadoodle.
We only
I think this is yeah. I think this is what it was.
I haven't even seen the movie. I just know about it.
We only know about this from like Nostalgia Critic.
Yeah.
It sounded
Oh.
familiar.
I had legitimately only seen that film once, but I remember those two scenes like distinctly, and those are the only scenes I remember.
Well, there you go. You found that at least. You found yours.
That's one down.
Now
Yeah.
we need my like Speed Racer Junior mystery.
My really scary mystery thing.
Yeah.
I can't
Maya,
think
do
of
you have
anything else.
one? No.
Yeah, do you have one?
Let me try to think of one off the top of my head.
Didn't you say that there was like a anime that you'd watched in Singapore?
Oh yeah, the only thing I remember was like there was this like small girl with pigtails. I don't know if they were braided, but she had like she looked like Little Red Riding Hood, but she rode on a broomstick. And I would remember like she would be riding her broomstick, and then you know how in old animes like all the rest of the characters would be like following the main character. It was kind of like that. I don't know if it's like extremely obscure though. So if
I mean,
anyone,
the only anime broomstick thing that I know is also something that I never saw, but it's something I saw commercials for. Was like, wow, what was the name of it? Like Kiki's Delivery Service or something.
I don't. That,
But I feel like
it was
I
definitely
don't
not
think that's
Kiki's
what that
Delivery
is
Service.
though. So
Yeah, that's a
I
Ghibli
love
movie.
Kiki's
Yeah.
delivery service.
So we each have one mystery.
I guess.
Then.
So anyway, Stuart Little. Yeah, I don't know. I think there's not too much to talk. I mean, not honestly, like not too much happens. I mean, it's a really short movie. It's
Yeah.
less than an hour and a half, so it's.
I feel like the climax was like very long for some reason.
Oh, okay. Actually, I kind of agree with that. It did feel like
Yeah.
because again, there was kind of the whole thing with the boat race, and then it was
Yeah.
kind of like, oh, okay, but then it's like the whole rest of the movie kind of actually did seem to drag a little bit, which was kind of weird.
For a really short movie too.
Actually, it's kind of
Yeah.
funny because when like Stuart, you know, he meets his like the mice parents or whatever, right?
Mhm.
I was kind of like literally my thought was like, huh, it would have been really easy to make these guys evil, and they didn't do that.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the movie happened. I guess they weren't evil, but still, it was just kind of funny. I'm like, oh,
They were just misguided
Yeah.
people.
yeah,
So
it was kind
They
of
were
interesting.
threatened, right? Because they
Yeah,
got
Yeah.
the cup or something. Yeah.
I just
This
kind of wish that
happened.
we like maybe saw a little bit more of them. I don't know,
Yeah.
kind of like
I guess
maybe
it
seeing
was a
if they
little bit longer than
if they
could
like
happen.
actually tried to kind of interact as a family for a little bit. I don't know.
I guess another thing too is that I don't think we got much of Stuart's personality.
No, he's
I
just kind of
guess-
nice person.
Yeah, the thing is that he's supposed to, I guess, be the perfect child, even though he doesn't sound like a child. It's
Question mark.
they adopted like a tween or maybe even a teenager or young adult.
I don't know.
Question mark.
Uh,
Oh, also, one of the cats sounded familiar.
Really?
I forgot which one. It was the one that like first came into the house.
Oh,
you mean
Oh.
the striped gray
yeah, the
tabby
striped
cat?
one.
Yeah, like I don't know why his voice sounded familiar, so I want to like see if I could like look him up. It might just be I'm confusing him with maybe it's someone I know I recognize.
I looked on the Wikia, and the white cat is Timon from
Oh, really?
Oh,
Lion King,
wow,
yeah.
I never would have noticed that.
Yeah.
I thought his voice was a little bit familiar, and I was like, maybe it's someone I know. And then I didn't recognize the name until I clicked on his name, and then I was like, oh,
It's
you're Timon.
Okay. Yeah.
And then I guess another small thing, I'm a big fan of the Golden Girls, and Sophia was in this movie. She didn't say very much, but I was just happy to see her there.
Apparently that was her final film too.
Yeah.
Mm.
At least it was for a cute film.
Yeah, at least.
I mean, that basically summarizes the movie.
Yeah.
It's cute. I mean, if you don't want something overly cute, well, don't watch it. But if you're fine
Yeah.
with overly cute, I do mean pretty overly cute. It's fine.
Or
for
if you
what
have
it is,
small
but-
kids, then you can watch it
yeah,
with your small
I'm
child.
Sure
Yeah.
small kids would like it, but it's there really isn't too much. There's not like again like for example the Toy Story movies. There's that other layer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But like there really isn't one for this. Right?
No.
it's pretty much just a harmless child's movie to keep
Yeah.
them entertained, really.
Yeah. So that's what you want, and there you go.
That's what you'll get.
Guess what, guys?
It's going to be 2000.
That was the
Y2K.
last film of the 90s!
Woo!
We're going to go to Y2K now.
Yes.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's the end of the challenge. Bye.
Yeah, it was only 67.
Yeah, the 300 was the story you guys saw.
See, because 6 plus 7 equals 13,
Oh my
which is
god.
like a 3 at the end, but the 1 in the beginning for like 100. So it's like 3, 100, 300. See, yeah.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Our Pokemon never will evolve now.
Oh,
Oh, that's so sad.
it is kind of, well, it is like a little bit intimidating though, being like all of the, I mean, not all of the 90s, obviously, but like all of these movies we saw is like 22% or something.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
just
yeah,
like,
right.
oh, we have a lot more to go through.
We have so much more to go through.
Yeah,
We're not even a third of the way through.
nope. It's
We don't
definitely
even know
feels like
what the last third is. Huh?
It definitely feels like we've made like a decent amount of progress recently, though.
Yeah.
So that's
Definitely.
good. But well, anyway, we should at least talk about the other movies of this year.
99 as a
Oh,
whole.
jeez. How did Stuart Little come out the same year as that horrible effect in American Beauty?
Don't.
Yeah,
No.
that's true. That's
I don't.
fair. It's a fair point.
Yeah, like American Beauty, and you look at Stuart Little, you look at The Matrix.
Well, yeah, I mean, like
Which also
Matrix,
had
like
great
Phantom Menace,
effects.
like I'd looked at it pretty good, honestly. You know.
Like, I can understand how The Matrix, Phantom Menace, and Stuart Little came out in the same year, but then I can't understand, like, other effects that we've seen in other movies from this year.
Yeah.
I guess I find it also interesting that we got 3 kids movies this year, finally.
That's true, yeah. I think that's the most kids movies we've gotten in a year.
And then, like, there were
Wait,
a
3?
weird
Hold
number.
on. Am I missing
Yeah, Tarzan.
Oh, I totally forgot
Toy
about
Story.
Tarzan. How did I forget
How
about
did you
Tarzan?
forget?
I don't know. I even said I liked it so much. Yeah. Like, wait a minute.
Tarzan, Toy Story, Stuart Little. And then there was a weird number of heist movies, because, like, I guess I kind of consider Payback to be a heist, and then there was,
That's
like,
fair.
Entrapment.
Yeah.
And then Three Kings
is
was
at
kind
least,
of
like,
fun.
kind of described as one. It's definitely way different than the other two, but it
Yeah.
is kind of interesting to compare. Yeah, because again, it like comparing, you know, Stuart Little and like American Beauty, like story wise, are like you know what I mean, very different.
Polar opposites.
So
Very, very polar
this is kind of
opposite.
an interesting year, and honestly, it was definitely one of the better ones.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like I think it was definitely better than 96, 97, and 98. Like honestly, and probably honestly 94 too. Just
I was
considering
about
some
to
of the
say
shit we had
that
to say
too.
for 94.
Because
It's-
other than the first 2 movies of 94, everything else was just trash.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does
And
make
then
me.
we had, like, the saving grace of 95, and then it just shitstorm.
It does make me
Yeah.
wonder, like, how does 99 compare to 95? I'm not sure, honestly.
I don't know.
Oh.
Because 95, I remember 95 wasn't perfect, right? 95 had Brady Bunch, had Waterworld, had
Was Tin Cup
Jumanji.
also that year?
No, that was 96.
Okay.
But yeah, like Waterworld, Jumanji, Brady Bunch movie, you know, it had some stuff that were not very good. And, you know, there were some things in this year that weren't that good. Like, Runaway Bride was awful.
Yeah.
She's All That was pretty bad.
Pretty whatever.
Yeah.
American Beauty was
Payback and
creepy.
Entrapment were just kind of dumb. Not like terrible though.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Which one?
Payback and
Payback.
Entrapment.
Yeah. Yeah, both of those movies.
They weren't terrible, but they were just stupid.
Dumb.
Yeah.
So dumb.
Forgettable.
So, but then again, we had Matrix, we had Tarzan, we had Toy Story 2, which we all thought were all really good, pretty good.
Yeah.
I think we all at least thought Phantom Menace, Three Kings, and Stuart Little would probably be like all okay, right?
Yeah,
Um,
pretty much.
So yeah,
I mean, I
comparing
don't
that-
regret watching any of those movies, so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's just kind of interesting. I don't know. I'd really have to think about whether 95 or 99 is better. I feel like maybe 99 was maybe a little bit more consistent.
I think so.
Consistent, yeah. There
It
weren't,
didn't,
like, huge
there weren't
dips.
humongous drops in, like, the ranking or anything.
Well, except Runaway Bride. That was the one horrible thing. But again, I would say 95 had a few pretty bad things too. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I'd have to really think about that. It's been overall, again, especially compared to the 3 years before this,
Oh.
noticeably better. So
We're
At
getting
least-
out the dark ages.
yeah,
Yes.
I am like some of the films for 2000 I actually kind of legitimately want to see.
Like the next movie.
Yeah, no, I actually legitimately want to see the next movie, even though I've heard.
I
kinda
wanna
mixed
see it
things-
too.
I've heard kind of some things about it that it's like, this is kind of an issue, but I still want to see it.
Yeah.
So that's something, and yeah, there's a few other things as well. I do feel like a lot of the movies for 2000 are like kind of maybe like smaller scale, if that makes sense. Like they don't. There's not any like. 'Cause there was a lot of movies we saw for 99 that are like big movies, right?
Yeah.
Like Matrix, big, huge movie. Any Star Wars movie is big, you know. Toy Story 2 is pretty big. Oh, wait, Sixth Sense. Totally even forgot about to mention that one. So that's
Oh,
a big
yeah.
movie, right? So there's a lot of like big, important movies this year. And
Oh,
I feel
yeah,
like
I
2000
guess-
is like not quite as much, but you know, we'll see how it goes.
Yes. I guess small correction to be made. Sixth Sense should be added in with movies that we really like.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, that's all movies we like. So yeah, I don't know, it's just kind of interesting. Who'd have thought that 99 would be the year that would be pretty good?
I guess closing out the 1900s with something good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not the end of the world.
No.
Like in, what was it, Entrapment?
It is kind of interesting though, because like, let me think. Entrapment.
That came out way before the end of the year.
Yeah, no, I'm just thinking. A movie like Entrapment, if that came out in like '96, it'd be one of the better films of the year.
Yeah. It
That's
would be.
really sad.
And in this year, it was, I don't know what, third, fourth worst or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Second, third, fourth worst. Yeah. So it's just kind of interesting to that comparison. Where like we look at Entrapment as like bad, but like again, if it came out any other year, the last 3 years we've seen it, we'd probably
We would
think
have
of it as
thought
like,
of
it's
it as
okay.
like a saving grace.
Well, not a saving grace, but probably just more like, whatever. You know what I mean? Not something to get mad over.
Mm.
So, I don't know. It's just kind of funny. Hopefully, this is a continued trend of upward progression.
Well,
Hopefully.
now we get to our childhood. Well, our other half of our childhood.
Yes. At least the parts that we probably watched the movies when they came out.
Yeah, and we will remember more of.
Yeah.
Well, because we're getting into now where there's going to be pretty consistent Pixar movies.
Yeah,
Right.
that's true.
So that'll be, most of us have seen most of those. Definitely, well, DreamWorks is going to kind of get into the mix a little bit.
Yeah.
X. I don't think Illumination's coming.
No,
which
it's
is
for a while.
good.
Not yet.
So there's that, and again, there's a few other things that
Disney, I know, will go kind of silent for a little bit, and then it'll come back.
Oh yeah.
I think.
Yeah, kind of like early 2000s Disney was not that great.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I don't. There's probably, I'm sure there's gonna be movies that suck, but
Yeah.
we'll see. At least looking next year, I don't see something that like obviously looks like it's gonna be bad, but well, actually, okay, there is one movie I'm kind of worried about, but that's kind of the nature of that film. So
Let me see which movie you're thinking of.
it's later in the year.
Oh,
I
I think I know which one that is.
It's
Does one of her friends
both of these.
return?
Actually, both of these.
Both.
Both of
yeah.
those.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I watched
Oh, also
the-
okay, this one too.
yeah.
Considering what kind of movie that is as well. So,
Uh,
well, we'll see. We'll see. It's not like immediately terrifying.
Not yeah.
Yeah.
At least.
So there you go. Woohoo!
Woohoo.
Happy Millennium.
Yay!
Happy Millennium.
I know.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about how Sora wasn't even born. She won't be born for like another 16 years.
Oh yeah. What month would be Sora's first month?
April.
April.
April of what? 2016?
April. Yeah, April of 2016.
Which was that? That was this.
Oh, okay, that's a good
I'm
movie.
totally cool with that.
That kind of is like the opposite of how Sora is, but
Look at though.
I mean, it's better
this
than
would if it was this, that would have been really funny actually.
That would
Yeah.
This
Well,
or
it would
this. Or this.
Oh my god.
I mean, clearly we know the movie that truly represents Sora is this one.
She'd be crying.
She would be.
No one is any idea what we're talking about. Anyway, whatever.
Fine. It's okay.
We'll see if we
That's
can
it.
remember to at least acknowledge it later.
That said, I think Kobe's is. I believe it's also April 2015.
Oh, really? This.
No.
I think,
Well, I
right?
mean-
Yeah, that's what it is.
I actually that. Considering how fast Kobe is,
I guess that's fair.
yeah,
It's suitable enough.
yeah.
Vroom, vroom.
Uh,
All the spoilers. All the
Oh,
hints that we'll probably totally forget to talk about when we actually get to it, but whatever, we'll see.
It's okay.
It's fine. It's fine.
Yes.
Anything else to say about Stuart Little, 1999, or the 90s, the 1900s in general?
Sayonara.
Oh, sayonara, baby.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I will say this, actually. So,
Uh,
I was curious, and I looked at, like, what the highest grossing film was for, like, the months, like, prior, before I was born.
Mm.
And I believe May, I might be wrong in this, but I believe May 1994, the highest grossing film was the Flintstones movie.
Oh no,
And
we
if-
dodged a
I remember
bullet.
you telling us this.
And if we had to start with that, I would have been so upset. But thankfully,
dodged the
that
bullet.
didn't happen. So,
Thankfully, you were born a month later.
yeah, seriously. We started on a high note, and then went down, and then went up, and then went down for a while, and then
Yeah.
gone up again. So
We're coming back up on the roller coaster.
Yeah.
we'll see what.
I didn't expect you to use the roller coaster analogy, though.
I know, because I'm like acrophobic as hell.
We'll see what the new millennium brings us.
Yeah.
Bring joy
Millennium
in
we're
our hearts
currently
or
living.
bile in our bellies.
Oh, bye, guys.
Bye.
Goodbye.